How's it going, guys? Today I want to talk about the DSArms AR15. Now, there aren't a lot of DSArms AR15 videos out there because, I don't know, there just isn't. But DSArms is pretty well known for making custom FALs and everything. They dipped into the AR15 market a few years ago, and they actually make really good products. But they're not as popular as they should be. Here we have a DSArms AR15. This was a kit normally. It came with everything except for the stripped lower receiver. I had to build this out myself, so it was actually pretty easy. Lower receivers aren't really that hard to build. This is my buddy's gun, and he's letting me review it today. So I want to go over the specs and everything. First of all, we gotta clear the gun. Magazine out. Nothing in the chamber. So, starting off with the muzzle, it's just a standard A2 flash hider. See if the camera will focus here. It's a 5.56 NATO 1-in-7 twist 4150 chromoly vanadium barrel. It is chrome lined. The bore and chamber is chrome lined. Here we have a F-marked front sight base. The F marking is right down there. It's kind of hard to see because this is blocking and the light's not that good. But it is F marked. It's got the Magpul slimline handguard on it. It's got a Magpul vertical grip. Now this came from DSArms as a heavy barrel. But since the heavy barrel portion only ends at the gas block, which is a carbine length gas system, it's not like super heavy or anything. The handguard is M-lock. Delta ring. The barrel extension is an M4 barrel extension. The upper receiver actually has M4 feed ramps cut into it as well. Now let's go over the bolt. The bolt is a Carpenter 158 steel. It doesn't have any HPT MPI markings, the high pressure testing, magnetic particle inspecting markings on it, but it isn't really needed. The carrier is actually chrome lined on the inside too. The gas key is chrome lined as well. 8620 steel on the carrier. It is the M16 profile. The staking on it is not bad at all. Looks pretty good. Not the best I've seen, but this should work pretty well. So it also has the O-ring on the extractor itself. Let me take the bolt apart real quick. There you have the bolt. 3 gas rings. And there you have the spring and O-ring on there. So the O-ring aids in reliability in extracting the cartridge, especially if you have a carbine length gas system where the bolt velocity is a lot more extreme than on a mid-length or a rifle-length gas system. You're going to need the extractor to grip that rim really well. Now, since you do have that O-ring on it, it tends to chew up the rim of brass a little more, but it's definitely not a bad thing to have, considering you probably want better extraction anyways. As I said before, this is a chrome-lined carrier and gas key. It is, manganese phosphate coated. Alright, let's put this back together. Now make sure you guys push the firing pin all the way in, because if you have it out, I can't pull it out right now, but if you have it out and you put this cotter pin in, the firing pin will flop around in the gun and it'll be free floating, and you will jam up your gun if it's not in there properly. Now the charging handle on this gun is a standard charging handle. I have no idea if it's a 7075 T6 aluminum or a 6061, but it seems to work just fine. Now there's, on Mil-Spec AR15s, there's dry film lube. On this upper receiver there isn't any. But that's not a big deal anyways. There's a lot of AR-15 uppers that don't have that stuff on them. It's got the forward assist. I love the forward assist, even though I've never used it in my life. It's just a good thing to have if I ever need it. It's got a shell deflector, dust cover, full fencing on the AR, or on the lower. It's just got that standard trigger guard there. Not a big deal, it works just fine. One thing I want to mention too is that the lower receiver here is actually cut out like a real M16. So besides, aside from drilling that hole and on like a real machine gun, it pretty much is like a regular M16 lower receiver. Trigger is a Mil-Spec semi-automatic. Again, DSArms. Mil-Spec buffer tube. I actually staked that myself. Really easy to stake. And it's got the Magpul SL stock, I think. Yep, Magpul SL stock and Magpul MOE grip. Magpul backup sights. All it needs is a light and a red dot. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.